won't believe what my wife told me during one of our biggest fights. She looked me dead in the eye, smirked, and said, "I can find someone new in a day." Most husbands would explode, beg, or break down. But me, I just smiled and replied, "All right then." That two-word answer was the beginning of her downfall. And my revenge. My name is Mark. I'm 38, the owner of a small but successful auto repair shop. I built it from scratch, grease on my hands and sweat on my brow, proud of every dollar I earned. I married Lisa 7 years ago, and for a long time, she was the light in my life. Spontaneous, energetic, the kind of woman who made boring days exciting. But somewhere along the line, that spark between us dimmed. She started going out more, first with coworkers, then with friends I'd never met. She was glued to her phone, smiling at messages I wasn't allowed to see. I wasn't stupid. I knew something was happening. When I tried to talk about it, she brushed me off, saying I was too insecure. Then came the fight that changed everything. It started over something small. I can't even remember what, but it escalated fast. Lisa crossed her arms, glared at me, and shouted, "I can find someone new in a day." That's when I surprised her. I didn't shout back. I didn't beg. I simply said, calm and steady, "All right then." Her smirk faltered for the first time. She wasn't expecting that. Over the next week, Lisa acted strangely confident, almost arrogant. She dressed up more, stayed out later, and whispered on the phone when she thought I couldn't hear. And then one Friday night, she left the house claiming she was having a girls' night. My gut told me otherwise, so I followed her. From a distance, I watched as she pulled up to a downtown hotel, not Michelle's house like she claimed. And there he was, tall, slick, wearing a suit. She ran into his arms, and they kissed like teenagers. My stomach churned, but I stayed quiet. Instead of confronting her, I pulled out my phone and started taking pictures. That night wasn't the end. Over the next few weeks, I gathered more evidence, screenshots of texts that synced to our shared iPad, credit card charges for expensive dinners, GPS logs from the car she drove. Piece by piece, I built my case. My revenge wasn't going to be messy or loud. It was going to be precise. When I finally had everything, I waited. One morning, I spread the evidence neatly across the kitchen table. Hotel receipts, photos, messages. When Lisa stumbled into the kitchen, still half asleep, she froze. Her face went pale as she picked up the first photo. "Mark, it's not what it looks like," she stammered. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just slid the divorce papers across the table and said, "You said you could find someone new in a day. Congratulations. You did. Now you get to keep him." Her mouth opened and closed like she wanted to argue, but the proof was undeniable. She tried to cry, to beg, to promise it was just a mistake. But mistakes don't last for weeks. Mistakes don't leave hotel receipts and text trails. The divorce was swift. With all the evidence I had, the court sided with me. I kept the house, most of our savings, and even custody of our dog, Max. Lisa walked away with almost nothing, except her new man. But here's the twist. Within months, he was gone too. The thrill wore off, and she was left alone in a tiny apartment while I rebuilt my life in peace. My revenge wasn't fire or fury. It was calm. It was dignity. It was walking away stronger while she destroyed herself. She thought she could replace me in a day. Instead, she lost everything in a day.